Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Main Stand, Season 2, Episode 23. Here with all three of the boys. First time in a few weeks. We've just got the trio. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
Going
Pretty
well.
good.
Feeling 28. Had my birthday yesterday. Last week wasn't on because it was my mom's birthday. Crazy January in the Ketchin household, but we're back and a lot of exciting stuff to talk about today.
Fuck yeah. Happy belated, Mitchell, from us at the
Thank
main
you.
stand and
Had a big
hopefully
old
all the
steak.
listeners. Love steak. Love steak, love you.
Mm.
HBD. Yeah, not really too much going on over here. Lots of snow, lots of shoveling. Maine is cold.
Oh yeah, I was up at 4. Had to fucking clean out all the work trucks. It was not fun. It was soupy
Nice.
in Maine.
Yeah, at least it wasn't this weekend when FA Cup's on. Get out and shovel, move the cars.
I wouldn't be doing that.
You're not gonna go anywhere during the weekend. You just stay home and watch footy.
True.
Pretty much. Or hit up the zoo last weekend.
Last weekend at the zoo, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't be able to make it this weekend, unfortunately. Got some other stuff going on. But if you're listening to this and you like football and good people, go watch the FA Cup at the zoo Friday, Saturday.
Hear it, everyone. Pat doesn't have time for the magic of the cup.
I'll be watching the game. I just got stuff going on this weekend.
Kidding. It's a pretty light week in terms of topics. I think we can talk about the weekend in the Prem first. I mean, the only game I think anyone cares to really talk about's Arsenal Man United. That was a back and forth one.
That was pretty good. It was a good game. Yeah, it was fun. It was back and forth. I mean, Arsenal are good. Arsenal are really, really good. That game-winning goal really is like where champions are made. I mean, to draw parallels from a team I'm familiar with, obviously, you saw like in 2018 when City won that title, the number of last-minute winners that they scored in situations where it kind of looked like there wasn't 3 points up to grab. You know, that like 98th minute winner from Sterling against Southampton, and then coming back from 2-0 down to win the game against Villa, and like more recently, like pretty much close to the death, City dragging that game back. So Arsenal kind of showing that they've got that fight and that grit you expect from championship caliber teams. I was impressed. I was impressed with them. I was impressed with Arsenal. I was impressed with Man United too. I thought Man United played a really good game. I think Marcus Rashford, it's on form, playing like one of the best footballers in the world at the moment. Tough to say that he'll keep that form going long term, just how we've seen him play in the past. But he's balling out. United look good. They look like they're a real force under Ten Hag.
I'm surprised by Nketiah, how well he's kind of got on in the past couple weeks too. 2 big goals.
Oh yeah, Eddie Nketiah has been great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see if he can kind of keep it up. I don't know. I'm still not fully sold on him. He has had a few good weeks though. I think that's still where Arsenal are a little weak up top, but I guess until I'm proved wrong, we kind of have to just let it ride.
Yeah. Question for the group: do we think that Casemiro's exclusion from the United 11 played a big part in that game, or do you guys think that old Scott was a good enough fill-in? Do you think Casemiro would have been the difference maker?
No, I think Casemiro would have made a difference. I think more than Scott, I think even Eriksen. I think Eriksen in those games is a little bit not really defensive minded. He doesn't get super tight to players, and in a game that's that quick, that high intensity, I think you miss a player like Casemiro, especially the experience in kind of a back and forth game where you need to have like a level head. Yeah, they definitely missed him.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. I was just pulling the group, seeing how everybody felt. Odegaard also very impressive player. I thought he was really good for Arsenal on the night. What a goal from Saka. Have to shout him out too. I thought overall it was just a really good game, and I think Arsenal are building something really special. Was Zinchenko on sides in the build-up?
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that one. There were so many goals; it's hard to kind of go back to it when it was just kind of a neutral game.
I don't personally think he was, but I mean that's kind of, it feels like the other side of the coin from United 2 weeks ago. I mean the football karma gods were balancing the scales, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
Personally, but at the end of the day, Arsenal feel like that like you said about your 18, 19 team, the 1920 Liverpool team, we could say the same thing. They went out and grabbed those crucial points, and Arsenal have just been grinding this year.
Yeah, I think they've been good.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We're crazy. We're still only at the halfway point. Still kind of boggles my mind. Long way to go in this one, so we'll have to kind of tuck in and see what happens. Pat had a pretty easy weekend. Holland, another hat trick. Blah 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 blah.
Love to see it. Hopefully we're back. Hopefully that's the start of the little 18-game winning run.
That's been not as much your season because it's been a little bit better for you, but that's been like every game this year. It's been like, oh yeah, Liverpool are back. Like I'm ready. Like it was Newcastle, Rangers beating Bournemouth 9-0. It was like we're back, and it's every time going.
I mean, we'll see. We can look ahead to a little bit of preview. Day of release of the episode, you guys will be hearing this, so hopefully you're listening to it in the morning and not after the game's already happened. But we're gonna get the first taste of City Arsenal. Today, day of listening. Tomorrow, after day of recording, in the FA Cup. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Before I kind of tuck in and give my piece, I'll let you guys have the floor.
I think City can expose Arsenal. I don't know. I've said that all year too, but just feels like a game where kind of City can get at them. It's a game that they've been in also, in the sense of like Liverpool were the challengers for so long, and it kind of feels like Arsenal are in that pole position. They're still the challengers because Man City are the defending champions. So it's still, even though they're top of the table, still feels like their back's up against the wall a little bit. I think we just lost Mitch.
Yeah, we did.
We'll just keep rolling. Still feels like their back's against the wall a little bit here. So it almost feels like they're gonna have to chase Man City a little bit, even though their form has been so good. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like City's gonna be fine in this one, and maybe you have other kind of insight here, Pat. But
no, I actually feel confident going into this one. I know it's the FA Cup, but I think Pep has shown he wants to win everything, so I think we're going to start a relatively strong side. I'm interested to see the system. I think this is going to be a bit of a preview and how Pep plays against Arsenal in the league. I think this will kind of be a little taster into what we do against them. Welcome back, Mitchell. I was confident going into that game against Tottenham, and I know we didn't touch on that because it's kind of been a weird week. It was a midweek game, but the fight there, 4-2 win, fight back from 2-0 down, the 3-0 against Wolves. We looked pretty good there. Holland hat trick. We looked we look a little bit more in control. I think Guardiola's little public lashing of all the players, just saying, I need to see a little bit more out of them. I need to see the drive. I need to see the hunger again. It's clearly resonated with a couple of guys, and I actually think City can win this game. I really do. I think we see City in the third round of the FA Cup. I think they beat Arsenal tomorrow, or today, technically, when you're listening to this. They beat them on Friday, January 27th. They beat them then. I think they beat them.
That's a good show. Where's the game, Pat?
I believe it's the Etihad. I think we host.
Yeah, that's a tough one for Arsenal. I don't know. It's not like Arsenal's, again, they're cruising, so I'll at least come around on that point. But City are still City, and it's tough to kind of say they won't win any given game, to be honest.
Unless it's Tottenham away.
Let's transition away from the Prem for a little bit, guys. Again, it's kind of a light week in terms of topics, just with the FA Cup weekend, stuff like that. But we have a little bit of sort of an international break. U.S. men played Serbia last night. Did you guys tune into that at all?
No, I was very asleep. I've been trying to fix my sleep schedule.
Yeah, no, I was out to family dinner, but I did see the results. Ended up losing, 2-0?
2-1.
2-1. Couple solid young starts for the men's national team. And then we had some interesting news post game. Yeah, as well.
The one I'll shout out because I did watch the game. Gaga Slonina, the Chelsea lad, used to play for Chicago Fire. He started in goal, had a couple of really, really nice saves. One where he's like kind of falling backwards and just deflects it out with his hand. He's going to be a really bright keeper. I think he's going to definitely challenge for that starting job with the U.S. men. Again, being at Chelsea, I think just being around Mendy and kind of having that professional experience is going to be really good for him. A few other really, I think players that will help us in the future played too, but like Mitch said, the bigger news today, U.S. men's national team's kind of just cleaning house with executives stepping down here. And Pat, I know you have the name, so I'll kind of let you take over this one.
Yeah, so came out today that Ernie Stewart stepped down as the sporting director of the men's national team, and at the same time, Brian McBride stepping down as the GM. So big changing of the guard in the backroom staff here for the U.S. men's national team. Not 100% sure what that means moving forward for everybody. But it is interesting to note also that Claudio Reyna stepped down as sporting director of Austin FC today as well. So eyeball emoji, eyeball emoji, eyeball emoji towards that one, and interested to kind of see how everything plays out. At the same time, Gio Reyna coming back into great form for the club, hitting the Memphis Depay celebration kind of as a little stab at Berhalter, claiming we don't have a Depay after the Netherlands defeat, and then scoring goals like that. Some interesting developments in the backroom staff for the U.S. men's national team for sure, and I'm interested to see who comes in as GM and as sporting director, and if that Claudio Reyna departure from Austin FC is just a really well-timed coincidence, or it means we're bringing in Claudio. Also, Jose Mourinho, if you're listening to this, please accept the job.
Dude, I'll go nuts if Mourinho accepts. He's the guy we need, honestly. I thought I saw a quote, and maybe our friend Sebastian retweeted it. It was something along the lines of someone else was saying this about Jose, but like when he comes in a room, everyone shuts up and listens, and everyone feels threatened. And I think that's exactly what this young team needs.
No, 100% agree.
It's funny how we were kind of joking about this like a month, 2 months ago. It's like, who would your ideal manager be? And that's a name like I think all three of us could agree on would be somebody we'd want to come manage the national team if that was even in a realm of possibilities. And the fact that it's even on the table and being rumored makes my heart happy. I'd take Jose Mourinho at the U.S. men's national camp any day.
Mourinho or Bielsa too is another name.
Bielsa was another one, yeah.
Available and would be really, I think, really, really good, especially for like the young guys in the group. I think Bielsa would do wonders with a lot of the kids that we have, just with the type of football he plays. He's got a lot of youth, a lot of energy, a lot of legs. I think Bielsa would do really well for us too. But I think Mourinho would be like creme de la creme. I would cry happy tears if Jose Mourinho was managing the men's national team.
Mourinho would be the pinnacle of like social media influence and reach. Like if he was manager of the U.S. men's national team, we would get some absolute Hall of Fame gifs, audio clips. Also, to add a little bit of context to the Reyna situation, he's still staying on at Austin as a technical director. He just stepped down in that role, and I'm assuming that was for pressure for this whole fucking blackmail thing, but who knows? We'll see kind of how the U.S. men's shake. I think, if anything, everyone stepping down kind of points to how toxic or bad that U.S. situation might have actually been that we don't even know about.
True.
With kind of the things as they stand now, looking back at, hearing Berhalter was going to be staying on for the next cycle, to having a clean sweep of our really player system and our managerial system. What are your thoughts moving forward? Is this a good time to get this done leading into our hosting in 2026? Or do you think it's kind of rushing the situation because it was so public?
I like a whole cycle for a manager before World Cup. I'm so against Greg tactically. I just feel really bad for him about what happened. I think he needs to come and just resign. The whole thing kind of just makes me sick. But I do think we need a new coach probably to step in right now, and it probably needs to be the guy who's going to be with us in 2026.
does it make you feel confident with the changes in the front office that that's going to be the direction we're moving in?
Probably. I'm lost on the U.S. men's national team though, if I'm being honest, because I really have a hard time seeing Reyna coming right back into this team. And he is like one of our brightest young stars, but I think he's kind of acting a little bit petulant, like a child. I don't think players at the top who are like serious footballers and not like banter guys like Memphis Depay are really doing that. I don't know. I've been kind of put off by Reyna. I hope like the guys like Weston and stuff kind of carry us through to 2026. But this whole situation, it's like I'm back down on U.S. men's national team until things become different. I think Jose's the guy to do that too, because Jose would put everyone back in their place and everyone would be at ground zero with him.
It would it'd just be clean slate.
Exactly.
This is what we're doing.
No, exactly.
Yeah, he would just make everyone reprove to him, why they should be getting minutes. So
pay the man.
Yeah, it would be an expensive contract. It's hard to sway him away too, because I do think he has an attractive project at Roma. Obviously, they won the Conference League last year.
Yep.
Fun little offense with Dybala and Tammy Abraham, but yeah, that was the U.S. men's national team. We do have some. I want to pick your guys' brains on a couple transfer moves here the past week. Arnaut Danjuma is one I thought was pretty funny. Him just ducking Everton. I think he was in the DMs of an Everton fan saying, "I'll do everything I can to make sure you guys stay up in the league," and he gets that call from Tottenham and says goodbye to the Toffees pretty quickly.
Oh, that was actually funny as hell. I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah, a pretty good move on his part. And anything that happens like that to Everton right now is top notch. Two, with Everton, Frank Lampard got the sack. Another big manager getting the axe. I'm hoping that personally, Adrian Heath from Minnesota United maybe gets allured by his former club.
Just so you can get a new manager?
I promise he's great, Everton. He's the best thing that's ever happened to you. He'll definitely save you from relegation, bring you back to the glory days of the 80s. No better man to run Goodison Park than Adrian Heath.
Say that with a straight face, Josh. Say that with a straight face.
There's actually like a little swarm of Minnesota United fans that have hashtag Inchy to Everton, like mini trending. Inchy was his nickname back in the 80s. But it's a trend that I'm fully behind. We need to convince the Evertonians he's the guy.
Just buy his plane ticket and send him on his way.
Well, Everton are probably stupid enough to actually go with him because they beat Everton 4-0 in the summer in that preseason friendly. So they're probably like, this guy, he knows what he's doing. They played us off the park.
Well, he could do what that PSG fan did and just show up at training and say, "I'm the manager now."
Yeah, that's true too.
Have a whole press release, the Wikipedia page, everything. Just say he is the manager. He takes a flight, shows up, and it's just done. Deal's done.
The other one I want to talk about that's quite funny, Anthony Gordon hasn't shown up to training in 3 days for Everton. Things are bad at the Ev. Taylor Mannix, if you're listening this far, I mean, this is like the third Everton story in a row. He hasn't showed up to training. First day was excused, second 2 days. He's pushing for the Newcastle move. I think Everton wants 60 mil. I don't know if Newcastle are ready to get there quite yet. Another one that's just funny, a young English guy that thinks he's worth way more than he actually is.
Yeah, do Newcastle know something we don't? Because I haven't been like overly impressed with him at all this year, personally.
Yeah.
So what are they cooking?
It's tough, man. He had that run of a few good weeks last year, and I feel like the staying up with Everton kind of gave him a little bit of, I don't know, like an aura with people who think he's good. I don't know what's going on. He's really not that good of a footballer. It's tough.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not super sold on him, so I'm not really sure why, A, they'd be willing to spend that much money on him, and B, where he's getting that, a little, like you mentioned, a little bit of like a ego thing. Like what has he done to do the whole not showing up to training and force a move thing?
Yeah, it's very weird and from a very weird player. The only other transfer story I have to talk about, our guy Weston. He might be getting the green light to go to Leeds, or otherwise known as America's B Squad.
I love that. I actually love that. I think he's going to get good, consistent game time. He's going to be playing with a lot of the same guys that he is playing with at like his international level. I think the chemistry between him and Aronson and especially Tyler Adams being able to be in like a midfield pair with the U.S. captain, the guy that's going to be next to him in 2026. I think them playing together at the club level is going to be massive for the men's national team if the move happens, which,
sounds like it is right now.
So.
Have you guys saw it all about what his dad has been tweeting?
Yes, he's been replying to people saying he's not good enough.
Yeah, because there was Arsenal talks kind of swirling at the start of the week, and people were basically saying he wasn't like technically good enough, and his dad came back, I think, with a line of like, "What are you smoking? I want some."
Yep, I want some of what you're smoking.
The classic John Henry line. John Henry, famously gave that to Arsenal for Luis Suarez, right, Mitch? Arsenal put in a really low bid for Luis Suarez, and he famously tweeted, "What are they smoking over there at the Emirates?"
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah.
It was the smack in the face.
That was the we want 40 million, and you can offer 40 million, and you can talk to him, and they offered 40 million one.
Yeah.
Very, very funny. One of the only good things John Henry's ever done as a human.
But that's just good comedy, honestly. I can't even knock him for that. I think that shit's funny.
It is very funny. Any other stories that you guys are poking around at?
I think Mitch wanted to share.
Yeah, go for it.
Josh and I got to do football stories last week, soccer stories, so to speak.
Before that, though, there was one other kind of transfer, since we're still in the transfer window. I kind of wanted to get your guys' thoughts on the potential of the contract cap in terms of length. Chelsea getting a lot of stink for the length of time that they're signing contracts for, and rumors are that shareholders would like to cap it at a 5-year contract, so we're not running into major contract issues and injury issues and pricing issues in the future. Seems like a big owner benefit system. What are your thoughts?
I personally am in favor of that. I think Chelsea are very clearly doing the contract thing because of the rules of FFP, where the number of years you put on a contract, it plays into the fee that you pay, so they can kind of circumvent how much money they've spent by offering these guys 7-8 year deals. And I think that not a lot of clubs have the luxury of doing that, and a lot of the clubs that have even spent as much money as Chelsea have, like City, for example, don't even do that. They 5 years at the most, I think, is what I've seen for the most part. So for Chelsea to sign a bunch of these guys this winter on 7-year deals, 8-year deals is a little funky to me. I think it does level the playing field a bit. I think it makes it a little better for the players too. It isn't a player signing himself into what's more or less like a third of his career. It's like almost being forced to stay with the club. Like he can't even think about leaving until 5 years down the line, just because it's going to cost so much extra money to buy him out of a 4-year deal, even though he's been there for 3 versus like 2. And yeah, like I said, I think it levels the playing fields for the clubs that can't afford to be like, yeah, we'll give you 7 years. But like, yeah, I just think overall it's just a better idea to have some form of limit on what you can do. If you want to keep a guy around that long, you can reopen negotiations with him for a contract extension after a year or 2. I don't think you should just be able to sign guys to 7-8 year deals right off the jump, especially when it's very clearly to avoid getting hit by financial fair play, because Chelsea have spent like $700 million already since Bully came in.
it's also very evident of like how much Bowley's already impacting the Premier League. We knew he mentioned the All-Star game and stuff. He's basically taken the model from Major League Baseball too. Like Major League Baseball loads their contracts up for 10, 12 years. He obviously owns the Dodgers. He's doing the same thing here. And it's advantageous for him because $300 million in 10 years is worth a lot less than it is right now. So you do that contract, and even if the guy's not as good in 7 years, you're paying him X amount of dollars when he should be making like way more compared to where the market grows. I mean, we've saw in the past 3 years how the market's grown in soccer. So he's basically saving himself money by just like backloading this contract into a longer term.
Mm-hmm. It feels like a MLB rookie contract where the players are getting like locked in for their 5-year stint. Then they're able to figure out arbitration or where they can go next. But now that they've been hosed and devalued over the last 4 years of their career because they're locked in at a set number, it's going to be difficult for that player to kind of gain that traction unless they're performing on field, staying out of injury, things like that. And a lot changes in 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Ian Wright said something big with the Mudryk signing was money, which was actually pretty surprising for how much he was twerking for Arsenal the past few weeks.
Yeah, I think that it's 100% money. Like, very clearly was a money signing and nothing else, really.
Crazy visual, too. And, like, I don't know this Mudryk guy. I can't comment on how he is as a person, but as a Ukrainian right now to go sign for a team who, I mean, a lot of their fans still twerk for Russia on the internet and thank Roman, very fucking weird. And I can't speak for, Ukrainians or anything like that, but very weird to go to Chelsea, in my opinion.
Hey, at least he really got the best of James Milner, am I right?
True.
Yeah, he did have a good cameo. I'll give him that. He was really, really good. He's pacey.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a really good signing for Chelsea, to be completely fair to the guy. But
I just thought it was funny seeing all the Mudryk memes of Milner on the floor on his hands and knees behind him.
Did you see, unrelated, but did you guys see that Al Nassr got knocked out of the Saudi Cup today?
I did not.
Ronaldo goes down.
Sounds about right.
Very funny. That was just a side bit I had to get in there as like a did you see?
Speaking of which, for the FIFA players, how many motherfuckers have you seen rocking the Al Nassr badge and kits since Ronaldo is gone?
Okay, so I'll banter you this. Is it Al Nassr? The alternate Ted Lasso one looks a lot like it.
No, it's 100% the Al Nassr. Like, they have the badge and the kit.
I haven't saw a ton of those. I've saw a lot of the yellow Ted Lasso ones, not much of the Al Nassr.
No, I've seen a ton of people rocking the blue Al Nassr kit.
To be fair, I always set mine to wear the other one that I'm not wearing. So.
And sometimes it's finicky, but I don't know. It's something I noticed overnight within the last week. I don't know. Maybe it's because Ronaldo's there, but it weeds out all the Ronaldo. When I get onto a game and I see somebody rocking that combination, I know who I'm going to be having to defend for 90 minutes.
Yeah, probably playing back to goal a lot.
Yep.
Mitch, why don't you take it away with your story? Me and Pat went last week, so we're kind of trading shots here.
So we'll take this all the way back to what was this? The summer of 2018? 19. And it includes all of us, which is the beautiful thing about it.
Inclusion.
My football story is our trip to Fenway for the Liverpool-Sevilla game. We went down a night early, and there was a ton of engagement activities and stuff like that. Pat, being the super based Liverpool fan he is, was rocking his French kit. We went to the House of Blues, and for about, I don't know, an hour and a half, he went back and forth with this couple in front of us. Just
oh my god,
away.
Yeah, if you're listening, fuck you, dude.
Chirping away, essentially why are you even here? You're not a fan of this club. things of that nature. Pat said, "We're in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm wearing a French kit. Get off my nuts." Essentially, is what Pat's defenses were throughout this. And eventually, we got to the front of the line and realized that he had a backpack on and wouldn't be let in anyway. So he left. We met back up that night, had some drinks, got ready for the next day, and it was an unbelievable, beautiful day. We were right behind the net.
Hot as shit.
Hot
Oh my
as
God, it was
fuck.
so warm.
And
my ass wore jeans for some reason.
I was 100 pounds heavier, and I don't know how I survived that heat that day. It was brutal. We were sitting in center field, and if you've never been to Fenway Park on a sunny summer day, center field is like sitting in the Sahara Desert. There is no cover. The sun is right in your eyes. You have nowhere to run. But we were right behind the goal, and we had a beautiful view of the field, so can't really complain when your team comes across the pond and you get to watch them live. My only complaint, and I think Pat can agree with me on this, would be the one Liverpool fan standing behind us.
Andy Roberts.
I'm sure she was a great lady. However, her voice was unbearable, and for 110 straight minutes in the sweltering heat, sang the Andy Robertson song. Most dedicated
Andy Robertson.
Great
I didn't like her either, but more power to her.
We also saw Divock Origi go right in front of us. That was pretty sick.
Banger right in front of us. We got to see the Sevilla staff at the Nike store before the game as well. They all showed up in their full training kits and behind the scenes gear. It was just a really great experience, and it's something that I always think about when I think about my love of Liverpool, my love of the game. Even though we weren't all Liverpool fans that went that day, it wasn't the ideal conditions. It wasn't Anfield. We still got to sing the songs. We still got to be with like-minded football fans. We got to spend a weekend with friends, get blitzed, and watched footy. And it's one of my favorite football memories for sure.
And most importantly, Liverpool lost.
They did.
Yeah, I've never seen Liverpool win live.
Yasser Larouchi got absolutely murdered.
16 years old. He could have been killed.
Maybe I shouldn't have accidentally cheered right there. I didn't really realize what was going on at the time.
Do you guys know, and this is kind of a fun thing, I did this the other day out of extreme boredom. I wrote down all of the notable footballers I've seen. Do you guys know some fun guys who played for Sevilla that day?
No.
I'll list some off, and I think you'd be surprised by the list. Luke de Jong.
Okay, yep.
Simone Kjaer, the guy that with Ericsson at the Euro 2020.
Yep.
Wissam Ben Yedder, of course. Serge Reguilon from Spurs now at and the big one that I didn't know, I kind of forgot about, Jules Kounde played that day.
No shit, I forgot about that.
Jules Kounde, I believe, started that day. So those are a few footballers that I kind of went back and I was like, I didn't realize they played that day. Interesting.
All I learned that day was Virgil van Dijk is tall as hell.
Yeah, he's a big man.
That dude is a giant.
They had a photo of him, I think, that night because they went to the Celtics or something. He stood next to Taco Fall, and he looks like a elementary school child.
That's very funny. That is very funny, actually.
It was good. Good story, Mitch. I imagine we'll have more of these coming, so. I think we lost him again.
Damn. All right, well, he'll be back later. I feel like that's about the episode. Kind of a sporadic, all over the place one, but that's the main stand for you sometimes. It's a weird week. FA Cup weekend. Felt like there was really only one notable game. It's back to just my eyes in the frame because Mitch left.
We have infinity eyes in the second box.
Yeah, just infinite me's. Look into my eyes and subscribe to the main stand.
We got the Champions League coming soon. We'll have content out for that. We're coming up with some fun segments too. Just give us a little bit of time. It's a busy period here, just recovering from the holidays and stuff. So Give us a few weeks. We'll get back with some more regular content. I think that's it. Like, share, subscribe to the podcast. We'll catch you guys later.
Deuces.
Peace.